Hi guys, I want to tackle a topic that's kind of been shuffling around again. Negative entities. I see this from 2 points of view. The first one is statistics. The second one is personal experience. To see the very tearing and harsh criticisms of different people from different areas of practice is upsetting. I mean, how can I say that you haven't experienced whatever you've experienced in your life, or that what you've experienced is wrong? That's not fair, and it's extremely, extremely closed-minded. So to the people that haven't experienced negative entities, that's great. That doesn't mean they don't exist. I've never been to Peru, but I am pretty sure that it exists. I can't say that it doesn't. Other people have experienced it. There's proof that it exists. So to say that negative entities don't exist and that you're stirring the pot for trouble is a bummer. Basically, statistically speaking, go from the scientific view. For someone that is a light worker, does, 1 or 2 workshops a year, doesn't really expose themselves to much else, well, the chances of you running into a negative entity are extremely low. Good for you. That's great. Nobody really is like, yeah, I really want to, negative entities. No. Why? Who does that? So yes, statistically, but if you are with a paranormal group and, you tour the country looking for different experiences in historic places and looking for hauntings and, going into people's homes and helping them out and volunteering and doing stuff like that, the chances of you experiencing some kind of negative entity goes up, a lot statistically, because you're exposing yourself to different kinds of things. Again, does that mean that you're going to end up having an experience with a negative entity? No. It just means that you're more likely because you're having different kinds of experiences. Does that make sense? It should, okay? We have all sorts of cliques within our different, realms. The paranormal groups, the psychic groups, the healer groups. And one of the groups that I think gets the most giggles is probably the hardcore theory people, all right? I've heard that perhaps these type of people may be hippie-esque. They may enjoy smoking particular things and imbibing fungi, and whatever, to each his own. But if I were to say those things and then immediately after have an experience of, oh my god, this fairy just popped out in front of me and it was like freaking Tinkerbell, it was insane, well, that moment my worldview changed dramatically. It's like a gray alien knocking on my door and saying, hey, do you want to come back to my ship for a probing? Or I understand that you earthlings, invite people in for refreshments. I'd be like, hey, you know what? Flattered. Not really into probing. Come on in. I'd love for you to try Dr. Pepper, and I'll see what I can make you for dinner, That would change my worldview perspective, So for people to say they don't believe in ghosts, they don't believe in fairies, they don't believe in negative entities, they don't believe in dinosaurs or science, God forbid, or Peru, just because you haven't experienced everything that the world has to offer doesn't mean that other people's experiences are invalid. That's what it comes down to. And I wish that we had a little more respect for each other than that. We can disagree without completely slamming each other in what we stand for. It just hurts my head. It really, really does. So yeah, negative entities. Yes, I have experienced them. Yes, they do exist. It's not like we're summoning demons here. No, you have an experience, you have an experience. It's certainly not one that I want to re-experience. I certainly wouldn't encourage others to experience it, but yes, it happened. I've been pretty darn active in the paranormal community for a long time now, and it is what it is. I like being out there and helping people. Most of the places that we go aren't even haunted. You know, I mean, dead people are everywhere. I think that's what people really don't get. Dead people are pretty much everywhere. Seriously, you know. So yeah, whatever floats your boat. Just because I haven't experienced it, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong or that your worldview is wrong because I haven't experienced it. In other news, apparently I really want to go to Peru. So, next time you hear about negative entities, understand that it is certainly from that person's viewpoint. If you have a differing viewpoint, please be respectful of other people's viewpoints. I'm not going to go into the hierarchy of demonology and crazy stuff because that's something that honestly the majority of us really don't need to know or want to know or need to know, because you know, the more positive you have in your life, the more happy and light working you're going to be. You don't need to be burdened with that stuff. That's not something anybody needs to worry about. And I'll pretty much just leave it at that. But yes, of course they exist. Good, bad, light, evil. I mean, my mother-in-law, you know, that totally should qualify as a negative entity. You will absolutely meet more people who are negative, big fat jerks than you will entities. And that's statistically. Seriously, statistically. Look it up. I'm sure it's somewhere on Google. Actually, I'm going to have to look it up. But, yeah. So, negative entities. There's my 2 cents. You're welcome to add your 2 cents as long as you do it respectfully. You know, everyone has their experiences. You know, some people want to believe because they haven't experienced it. They don't believe, and that's fine. You know, it's perfectly healthy to have a level of skepticism. I mean, every time we go into someone's home to help and volunteer with a paranormal thing, our first thing is we start out not believing, and then we go for the evidence, and that's what we do. That's what any scientist does. But to say that somebody else's experiment or, you know, position is wrong just because you haven't experienced it is kind of a dick move. So don't be a dick. All right? I love you guys. Bye.